Did your dad enjoy coming to Australia, and did you ever come here with him? What did he think of Australians and our humour? And it's quite different to Americans. It's a different way of life.
Yeah, so I did go with him. I went with him twice. Once before I can remember. The second time we went to Queensland,
Oh, yes.
and yeah, we went diving in the Great Barrier Reef. And so I think his impression, from what I gathered, was that Australia is quite dangerous. He felt that it is filled with lots of dangerous animals. Yeah. But no, I mean, he liked it. It's filled with people who like the outdoors, and he finds Australians. He found Australians hilarious because they're, self-deprecating. They don't take themselves too seriously. I think it's a culture that he vibes with.
I wonder what is your favourite film that he did?
My favorite film of his was Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
I also love Dead Poet Society,
Mm,
and also A World According to Garp.
mm. So beautiful, all of them. I wonder, you said that you grew up with a mother or you have a mother that's very spiritual, I assume, because she's into yoga and meditation and all that kind of stuff. And then I know that in 2002 you met Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, I hope I pronounced that all right, who is coming on this podcast actually in a few weeks. And I wonder what your experiences with spirituality have been.
My mother grew up in a Roman Catholic environment, and her mother was adopted, and we found this out through 23andMe. We didn't know who her birth parents were, my grandmother's birth parents, but we found out she was of Jewish heritage.
Oh.
But my grandmother was raised in a Roman Catholic environment. My mother was raised in a Roman Catholic environment. I was not raised in a Roman Catholic environment. I was raised more so in kind of like a general wellness environment with open mandate to figure out things for myself. On my father's side, it was more agnostic. He grew up in a Christian Science household. And from my lens, it took some time to really find spiritual grounding. The focus for me is more so on the message and the means of not only supporting myself, but supporting others through service-oriented activity. I identify as Christian, but do not actively, engage in a lot of church activities.
Yes.
But I'm an active meditator, and for me, it's important to spend time learning about and working with understanding the cultures of different religions. I speak in many synagogues and temples. I've attended other temples. For me, I think really understanding the core message and working through how we can find opportunities to orient towards love and understanding and human connection
Mm.
while we seek personal understanding, development, and a closeness to ourselves. So I would say that's my general spiritual guidelines.
Yeah. Was your dad a spiritual man?
I would say my father was a spiritual man in that he cared deeply about humanity and the
Mm.
human condition and wanted to help people. Um, he would spend time in all sorts of different institutions, whether they were Jewish or Christian or others. And the conception, I would say the misconception, was that he was Jewish.
Yes.
Yeah, all his friends were
As a
Jewish.
Jewish person, um, I feel like he vibes that Jewishness about him. I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like I don't think I thought about his religion, but I could understand what you mean.
Yeah. No, so his son,
And
the
Billy
irony is his
Crystal's a
son,
good friend of his, isn't he? One of his best mates. He's
y-
Jewish.
yes, Billy's
Yeah.
Jewish. The irony is his son is Jewish, of Jewish heritage, right?
Yes.
So,
Is your mum.
yes, my mom, grandmother, and so forth. So,
Yeah.
but my father, yeah, spent most of his time with Jews.